and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. And today I am doing this yacht. So I did ask you guys on my community tab, what would you guys like to see? Because I already kind of like semi-built both of them. I built a yacht and I built an apocalypse bunker. The apocalypse bunker was purely like, I'm not able to do this one build. So let me just do another build that I perceive will be simpler and just do it that way. And I did do it and it actually came out really cute. And now I want to make endless amounts of them. But initially I did do a yacht. I started doing the yacht on Saturday because I was like, you know what? I don't play around with the ideology of using I don't play around with the idea of using like stuff to do with boats that often. I have made a boat restaurant. If you guys are interested, it is far better than this video. Please go and check it out if you can. But yeah, I've done stuff like that. But I'm like, I normally don't get too adventurous within the layouts of my builds because as much as I love doing the like exteriors and stuff like that, I absolutely despise like how odd it can look when it's not really meant to. For example, I've discussed this before in previous videos. I don't like it when my builds sometimes, occasionally, like I'll say about 60% of the time, I don't like it when my builds look like Sims 4 builds, like, and that's not necessarily an insult on, because most of my builds look like Sims 4 builds, and that's great, but I try and do, I try and do realistic builds, but I literally built Gotham the other day, so that doesn't make sense. I'm not realistic, but like I just try and like edge closer to the realism vibe. So because in my head, if someone told me, okay, make a Sims, like think of a Sims 4 build, I think we're thinking of like the average American suburban build that we normally create. But the thing is that with Sims 4 builds is that they're way more aesthetically pleasing than normally like actual builds. Like for example, I was looking at a lot of American suburbs before because I wanted to get this idea of a realistic American suburb to do, and as I was looking at them I was like, these are in the Sims, these will be poorly translated, because the problem is with a lot of builds like this is that for functionality and aesthetics, there's an actual like architect and engineer and all these other people and house design and interior designer and everything like that. So they need to make the exterior function with the interior, which you have to do in The Sims 4, which you have to do it to a more critical extent with real life houses, was this is going to be a place where people actually live, and that's something that can end up translating to a poor, not necessarily poor, but an unappealing exterior. Like the exterior would just be uninspiring because it needs to be functional. So for example, you could have like a massive American suburban house and then you look to the side and it's like 2 windows amongst the expanse of wall, and those 2 windows are sometimes not even on the same level as each other, like one slightly lower and another one is slightly higher. And this occurs because obviously you need to make sure that the house that you've built is actually functional in real life. So people are actually going to be using this, like for example, they're going to be using that area as a bathroom. So you can't have too much light going in or you'll just have weirdos staring at you in the bathroom. So I can understand the sentiment of why realistic houses can look a bit ugly. But there's also the realism that can look somewhat like realistic, I guess. And I was trying to emulate that within this yacht because the problem is doing boats and doing stuff like that in The Sims, and specifically like doing a yacht, is that we don't have the capabilities of doing, as she says, as she is currently in the background building a yacht. But what I mean by that is that as much as I can try and feed this to look like this could also just be a critique on my building capabilities. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to try and be egotistical here. This could just be because I'm a poor builder. I won't say I'm the worst builder, but I'm hiding. No, I'm going to leave that conversation where it is because you're going to think I'm one compliments on it. No, I know where my weaknesses lie. Don't worry about that. But I know where my strengths are as well. But this could also be just me like not necessarily being the best builder, and that's why it didn't necessarily come out exactly how I wanted it to, and it didn't come out with the same semblance of realism that I needed it to, because with a yacht I really needed it to look like a yacht because it's just such a specific type of such a specific type of lots and build that we have seen created multiple times before, but it's just like you don't want to make it look too closely like someone else's, or it's gonna look like you copied them, but you don't want to also make it look too extravagant and out there, because then it doesn't even look like what you were intended in the first place. Like, as I was building this, I was thinking to myself, this actually looks like a yacht. I go into my editing I'll talk about editing in a second. I go into the editing section of this, and then I was just like, this does not look like a yacht. This is going to be an interesting experience of me trying to do the thumbnail. Obviously, you guys would have already seen the thumbnail. Hopefully, that's what enticed you to click on the video, as well as you see, and that is by EmeraldStories. But no, I was like, how am I supposed to make this into an appealing thumbnail? Because this doesn't look like a yacht. Someone's going to look at this and be like, Kelly, is that a yacht? Or is that just an ugly looking boathouse? Okay, it's not ugly. I'm like, look at it. It's cute. It's cute. It's not ugly. But it's like, it's sometimes when I look at it, I'm like, is that a yacht? Like, it kind of is. It kind of isn't. Because there was this one particular type of yacht I was doing. I love those yachts that have the lower platforms that then you can just walk off and then just jump into the ocean. You will never catch me doing that, because me and the ocean are not friends. Never have, never will be friends. As much as I aspire and I enjoy the mermaid aesthetic and all things to do with oceanic life, H2O, just had water, love it. Loved Sirenics in Wings Club, adored it. All those things. As much as I enjoy stuff like that, you will never catch me anywhere near these seas, none of them 7 seas, because I don't think I've discussed my fears before, and I won't go too deep into it because this is not a therapy session, but I have a blatant, expanse fear of the unknown. So it's not a particular thing. It's anything that I cannot fully comprehend. And you might be thinking, well, doesn't that kind of make you afraid of everything, because you can never truly know anything? And kind of yes, and kind of no. It makes me fear everything to an extent, because this is gonna sound so wild, but I can't even trust my own mind sometimes. I just don't know what is what, and I can never truly comprehend anything around me. So that also can include my mind, because my mind, to me, to a certain extent, can remain unknown. I don't know what goes on in my subconscious. I only know what goes on in my conscious. So I've discussed this multiple times in my videos before, but do you know how you sometimes go to work and you subconsciously make your way to work? Well, your subconscious enacts in other ways as well. Like when you just subconsciously make food, or you subconsciously pick out and start doing things, or you start just going through motions, your body automatically going through motions without you actively being aware of it. It also happens a lot when I'm doing these videos. I kind of just let my subconscious, it has a meeting with my consciousness and it talks. But if I was consistently highly conscious of every single thing I said in these videos, you will have 5 minutes and that's about it, because consciously I pick at every single thing I think of, and I question every single thing that's about to come out of my mind. And I don't allow myself to rumble, because in every single day conversations with my parents, with my friends, I can't talk like this, because I can't talk for 20 minutes straight at them. That's a whole lecture. So when I do these videos, I said before, it feels like I'm talking about 2 types of topics backwards. So my topics are 2 behind, so I may be talking about subconscious now, but in 2 topics later I'll be actually talking about the build. It feels like that's what's going on. My subconscious and my consciousness have had a meeting. So let's say S and C have had a meeting. S for subconscious and C for consciousness. S has said to C, okay, we have this video to do and we need to talk about it for a long time, but we can't necessarily think of what we need to talk about. So how are we going to go about this? C says, okay, I will prompt you with a topic. S, why don't you pull anything you can think of and just spew it out whilst I think of the next topic? So as C is going along and, saying the topic, talking about subconsciousness and consciousness and everything like that, I have not fully even formed these thoughts. I cannot even process, and I don't even know how anyone even creates AI, because I can't even process and understand how my mind has already processed all these things, and now they are being spewed out of my mouth as consciousness. C is now creating these and trying to figure out what the next topic is going to be. I was also doing a lot of things simultaneously. For example, making sure like subconscious is not only just talking about these things, but subconscious is also just to my top. Subconscious is also making sure to check my recordings. Subconscious is also making sure to look at my video. Like subconscious is doing a lot of things at once, whilst consciousness is just trying to, you know, like I'll say consciousness is like the CEO and subconsciousness is like all of the workers. So consciousness is making the decisions, but subconscious is really like pulling me along. Like I'm like literally obeyed, and I am obeyed. I don't know what the word, but I have relinquished all control to subconscious, because subconscious is really what's taking me along. Even like sometimes I'll be sitting in my bed sometimes and I'm just like, okay, I feel like reading a book. That's what consciousness is saying. So conscious is already on the book app looking for books to read. So conscious is already reading the summaries, whilst consciousness is thinking, oh, I really would like, for example, at the moment I'm reading a story that really delves into mental illness and stuff like that. And my subconscious is just like, they're looking through all of them, not really actively aware of what's going on until something really piques my interest. And then subconscious is like, hey, consciousness, look at this. Do you agree with me on this? And then consciousness, sometimes it's like, oh, yeah, I agree. This is good. This is good. But then sometimes consciousness is like, this is not good. And then like consciousness goes off somewhere else and starts like planning the day ahead of what to eat, while subconsciousness is still just like actively looking for this. This is all happening as I'm just scrolling through my phone trying to find a book. And yeah, that was our long tangents around subconsciousness and consciousness. But it does frighten me slightly, because I've said before, it kind of feels like there's someone else. Like there's two versions of me. They don't feel foreign. That's what I say. When I say stuff like this, sometimes people are like, wait, does it feel like a foreign? No, it doesn't feel foreign. I feel like this has been a part of me for a long time, and they've developed and grown with me. They are almost like two halves of myself. Like they are both me. But it also kind of is scary, because there are me that I can't necessarily control. I can't control what my subconscious does. Like you can do different types of methodologies and stuff. Methods, sorry. I'm still in that university mindset. You can do a bunch of different types of methods to really try and corral your, subconscious to do certain things. For example, subconsciously, tidy up after yourself, or subconsciously, like what I do with this video, subconsciously I keep running through notions, because if you look at my videos now, my videos like early on when I was speaking, there's more of a flow, because I allow my subconscious to take more control in what I'm going to say next. But there's other things you can't necessarily control it, and it just kind of does it on its own. And I think that's what can scare me sometimes. And with the mixture of that and then myself, as in myself, and you probably think, okay, so now what are you on? The video's going to end and you're not even going to talk about it. But I don't think I'm going to fully delve into my fear of the unknown. I'm just going to finish what I'm saying about subconscious and consciousness and just get back to the build. But sometimes as well, then there's this just the self. So like the subconscious isn't picking it, the consciousness isn't picking it. For example, I just like the color green. Green is my favorite color. Who picked it? Not my consciousness, because why would I actively pick a color that I don't feel a pull towards? Like, there is something else in me that just feels a pull towards that color. There's something else in me that feels a pull towards The Sims. There's something else in me that feels a pull towards I don't know, like slow electronic music. Like there's nothing in me that's consciously saying that's what I want. But then if it is my subconscious, why? I can't control you. Like, for example, there's things that I wish I would like. Like, for example, I wish I loved running. I really wish I like weightlifting, but I don't like running. And I wish I could control that. I wish I could make myself be intrigued by it and want to do it, but I just don't. And it's obviously something you can train yourself to like, but it's also something that some people are just born liking it and other people aren't. Like, I'm born liking the arts more than I'm liking STEM subjects, except for astrophysics. I have a deep interest in that. It's just I'm not good at maths. but I enjoy the arts more than STEM, and that's not something that I can necessarily force myself to ever like. And some people try, loads of people try, but then they just can't. And they end up doing risky things, like doing risky degrees because you prefer that. But obviously, it's not as stable as other jobs, but you still do it because that's what you like for whatever reason. But anyway, yeah, I was just talking about the fear of unknown, and really to get back to it, the ocean obviously is known, but not every single square inch of it is known. And like I said, I fear everything, so it also includes the ocean. But yeah, this yacht was part of my celebrity save file. The cool thing about it is that a lot of Sims came over and automatically decided to wear the bikinis and the swimsuits and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, we've got a yacht party and we've got a celebrity yacht party. So I thought, that was so cool. So that's why if you're like a key viewer of mine and you've kept up with like almost all my videos, first of all, thank you. Thank you, because YouTube is not pushing my videos out. I know that for sure, because they were. I'll be getting way more dislikes than I am. Most of my videos are watched by my viewers, and I appreciate all of you because all of you like it. So yeah, but what's it called? If a lot of you are key returning viewers, you might recognize some of the Sims there. Like some of you may have noticed Amaya, who was part of the slasher cabin, and then she was also part of the Western Town one, so you might recognize her. She's the one that now owns this houseboat. You might also recognize one of them from way back in the earlier times of my videos with her Brooklyn house that I'm 100% gonna remake. You might even recognize some other person from the Georgian house I created. And then some of you might see Jason Salvani, and if you don't know who Jason Salvani, get to know Jason Salvani. I'm joking. Jason Salvani is married to Autumn Gunn, who is the daughter of Bailey Gunn, and we all know, wait, do we know who Bailey Gunn? Do you guys know Bailey Thorne? But we changed Bailey's name to Bailey Gunn. We all know who Bailey Gunn. Bailey Thorne is, or is it Thorne Bailey? I think it's Thorne Bailey actually. But yeah, that's him that we got in Delso Friday, where I took him away from his wife. But anyway, it's a game, so yeah, I had a lot of fun building it. Did not have a lot of fun editing this because the entire video was very, very glitchy. Please remind me never to build on this lot again. I tried to get rid of as many glitches as I can, but I know it is glitchy and I'm really sorry about that. But again, please someone comment how to use OBS because I've tried everything and it's just not working for me. But yeah, anyway, I'll let you guys enjoy the tutorial. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, but if you don't want to, that's also okay. I appreciate you staying this long and listening to all of my ramblings. Also, don't forget to leave a comment down below. I read all of your comments, the more the merrier, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Also, the person who commented and said, I see a trend of people with like really great builds, really great voices, poor mic quality, mediocre mic quality. So I love your comments so much. It's like my favorite one for the past month. Like I love it. I love your honesty, guys. I love your honesty, and I love your sweetness. So yeah. Anyway, thank you. Goodbye.